Hey guys, so I've decided to try and do my sketchbook videos once a week. I'm doing this for a couple different reasons. One, to keep me motivated so that I don't miss days or I don't put it off, and so that I stay motivated in drawing every single day, so at least I have 5 sketches every week to show you guys. And the other reason is the videos, when I wait a really long time, get kind of long and I don't really get to talk about each sketch very much. And this way I can get the sketchbook videos under 20 minutes. Like this one will probably be around 5 or 10 or something like that. So from now on, I'm gonna try and upload every Wednesday at noon a new sketchbook video. And I'll still upload other videos periodically throughout the week, but every Wednesday at noon will be a sketchbook video. This was a request from one of my nephews. Recently it was Elena's birthday party, my daughter, and I gave sketchbook drawings to a bunch of the kids that came over, and he wanted the Incredible Hulk, and I never drawn the Incredible Hulk, so I said, you know what, I'll draw the Incredible Hulk this week and you can have that one. So this is for him, and basically I just started drawing the Incredible Hulk. I've seen him a ton of times, and kind of the key ingredients, I guess, to the Hulk is that he looks really big. He doesn't have much of a neck. His shoulders, you know, his neck goes into his shoulders, stuff like that. So, and then the big old bone visor, you know, the brow on him has to be really thick. So I feel like I got him pretty good, and I think he'll like this drawing. I added the bricks down here all smashed up and stuff like that. So as far as, you know, I mean, this isn't the best drawing I've ever done. Veins and stuff like that, there's this kind of unique drawing style. When I used to read comics a lot, I think it's, I can't think of their name. He did Prophet and a bunch of other ones, not Rob Liefeld. There's another artist, but he always, the way they draw veins is they always shade like one side of them, and then the other side is just kind of blends in. And so if you have like a shaded area like this, so the bottom half would be shaded, and then the top half you'd leave a little bit of light like that, just to kind of highlight the vein a little bit. But the way I did it, it just looks, the veins don't look organic enough. They're really, yeah, stiff. I don't know. But anyway, this turned out pretty cool. I think he'll like it. So this drawing actually, if you guys sketch in your sketchbooks, you know that sometimes you have to sketch in odd places, especially if you have a goal to draw every day or something like that. And a lot of times I draw on my lunch break, but I was eating lunch and sitting at this picnic table, and this elderly gentleman sat down next to me, and he decided to tell me his entire life story. So I will always remember that because of this drawing. And I mean, it was really funny. He was waiting for his grandkids to bring out their sandwiches. It was Subway. And I was just kind of sketching at this, and he just started talking to me, and I only got about halfway finished with this, and they had to leave, but they asked, his grandkids finally came out, and they asked to watch, or to look at my sketchbook, some of the sketches, and I showed them, and they really liked them, but it was just kind of fun. But for this drawing, this one started out interesting. So I started out with this weird shape up here, this kind of triangle shape. And sometimes I'll do that because I don't want to start out with like a circle or a human form head sometimes, because I feel like I get stuck with the same type of shapes. One thing I do too, because like with this one, I started out with that weird shape, but then I just went right back into doing the body. And I realized that, so then I said, well, I'm gonna try and throw some weird stuff in here. So the giant hand, and then this guy kind of being dragged along. I don't know what the story with this one is. And then I kind of wanted to approach the legs a little bit differently than I normally do. This one's got a lot of weird, this is just me trying to experiment. So I don't think a lot of these elements go together, like fit really well or anything like that. It's just really experimenting on just different elements that I might incorporate in future drawings. This one's kind of cool though, because I feel like the shape of his head, you can see it dips in the middle here. He's got this weird nose snout thing. It's kind of interesting to look at. So I felt like this was a pretty successful sketch. So sometimes when I'm drawing, I just get an idea in my head, and I don't know why. You know what? Actually, you know what started this drawing was I saw another artist drawing, and he did this square mouth, and I'm like, I never draw a mouth like that. I'm gonna draw a mouth like that. So then I thought, well, what can I use that for? Like what? And then I thought, well, square, and I thought SpongeBob SquarePants, and I don't know why I'm like, this isn't what I normally draw. So sometimes when I think of something and I'm like, oh, I don't normally draw that, then I definitely want to draw it because I have never tried it before, or I just feel like it'll be something new. So I knew this one would be popular because everybody, anytime you draw a character like the Ninja Turtles or something like that, you know you're gonna get some nostalgia in there from people, and I wanted to put my own little twist on this guy. But this is Stoned Bob High Pants is what I called this one. And the story I gave for this, because somebody came up with a story and I thought it was really good, that, you know, he had turned to alcohol or something like that. So I decided to elaborate on that story. And my idea was that SpongeBob and Patrick had fallen in with the wrong crowd and had turned to a life of poaching jellyfish. And after spending years and years in this kind of terrible lifestyle, his conscience got the better of him and he turned to drugs and alcohol. And Patrick had died long before. So it's such a horrible story for such an awesome character. But anyway, kind of fun, kind of interesting. I love his eyes. He's just I really like this sketch. So I'll probably hold on to this one until the right person comes along to give it to. So maybe it'll be one of the winners for the Creative Art Challenge will get this one. So this week, that previous drawing of that weird shape that this is kind of the same, along the same lines. Sometimes I'm busy with work and I got a lot on my mind or something like that, and I just want to draw and not think about anything. And so I'll start drawing shapes and just kind of see what they turn into. And that's one of the things, I started drawing this circle and I'm like, oh, that could be an eye. And then it kind of came down into this jawline and, oh, it's a weird head. But then I didn't want to just draw some kind of face like that. I wanted to make it really interesting and do things that I normally don't do. So I made these huge lips, a little pointy nose, this big eye. And then after I had the head, I'm like, well, that's still boring. It's still just a boring face, no matter how many little trinkets or shapes I put on it. And so then I added this girl kind of pulling out this eyeball socket. And yeah, just kind of a weird drawing. You look at it and you don't really know what to think. I mean, he could be this giant, huge guy, or she could be a tiny person. But anyway, it's kind of a fun one. I like it when these kind of fun, interesting ones pop out. So this is a follower sketch. She had a story to her life that kind of touched home for me. I have 2 little girls, and she had a little girl who had passed away, and I thought she'd be around Bug's age. But then her and her husband had another child, and it's another little girl, and she had a picture of herself with the baby. And I remember thinking that Elena, when she got to meet Emery for the first time, that was a really special moment. And so this was kind of me capturing that moment for her in her follower sketch. And I normally don't get this deep with follower sketches, but like I said, this one really touched base with me. This was like, I think when you have kids or you have, you can connect with somebody, especially something that is unimaginable. I couldn't even imagine it. That you really want to connect with them, or you want to do something special. And if your art can do that, that's one of the coolest things that I feel like I can do as an artist, is when I can really, tell a story, connect with somebody and make them feel something. So I know she enjoyed this. She said she did. So I'm sending her this drawing, but this is, sometimes art can take a little bit more meaning than just a sketch. So, and that's what this one kind of felt like for me. And I love this drawing, and yeah, I felt like it turned out just the way I wanted it to. So now I'm going to show you guys, these are some of my ideas for my creative art challenge. And you guys have been turning in some of the awesomest like ideas. I've seen such amazing artwork. I'm so happy with the turnout so far. You have till Monday if you still want to do the creative art challenge, which if you don't remember, it's the 4 words, cowboy, princess, tree, and fish. Some of the drawings are absolutely awesome. But these are my ideas for what I'm gonna do. So you can see in this one, it's kind of like a princess and she's turned into a tree, like probably like a spell. So this is more of a classic fairy tale idea that I had. And the cowboy, so princess, cowboy, is fighting this giant evil fish monster thing that maybe turned the princess into this tree, so princess tree. And you know, he's like right in the middle of battle and she's kind of in this tree form over on the side, so it'll be like the sweeping action type scenario. And I think this one will probably be the one I choose, but I'll let you guys kind of help me with that. But then over here I decided to do kind of like this fish cowboy man walking across this desert, and his horse is like made out of a tree. And I could have just put a tree in the background, but I wanted to kind of incorporate the elements a little bit more. And then the princess is riding on the back of this. But how I do the tree horse thing would be really fun. I could have branches, and like the way it walks could just be like these big roots that kind of slide across the ground or something. But this one would be really interesting. This one was kind of like the cowboy is in the ocean and he's trying to lasso this mermaid, and she's swimming up here, and then the tree would be like these big seaweed kind of forest, tree forest, whatever, underwater. But this one's a very dynamic composition, but I don't know if I'd like to do that one. And this one is kind of similar to this one, classic fairy tale, except for this is kind of like more of a doom type one where the cowboy is on his knees and the mermaid is dead, or in his arms kind of dead, and this giant tree monster is kind of like wrapping around the whole situation like he just killed them or something like that. So those are kind of my 4 ideas that I just popped out real quick. Sometimes I like to do this to give myself, you know, some options. So that's the video, guys. Hope you guys liked it. I'm going to end with a little preview of the upcoming Donatello video I'm working on. So it's the 3rd style in the Ninja Turtle series. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the channel, subscribe.